Gemini, most helpful message for you at this time. Coming out strong with Pluto, some transformational energy. Pluto's the one who comes along with the energy that says, surrender. You are not in control of this. There is a transformation taking place. Best go along with it. This could be taking place in the way that you conduct yourself in relationship. Your level of devotion in a relationship. You're being asked to declutter. This is both your surroundings and your mind. Your car, your refrigerator, start there. Look in those places. Where's the clutter? Can you minimize that? Can you organize a little bit and kind of make the room and the space for Pluto to show you what is being shown to you? It's like asking you to help the energy have a place to land within you. So make space. And this is also in your mind, right? Like if every moment is filled with strategizing and figuring things out and looking at the different sides of things, then you're not going to be able to see the biggest picture view. You're going to be cluttering your mind and only rethinking the same thoughts over and over again, and you being asked to make the space for new thoughts to come in. Also, so that you can hear your inner urge. Okay, so maybe some curiosity will emerge after you've stopped the strategy thinking, or the repetitive thinking, or the mimic thinking, or the exploration of the mind in general. Allow the space for the inner urge to come. So there is something that you're driven to. It could, again, be in the way of relationship. You know what I'm being brought to? I don't know why, but I'm just going to say this. What if it's the inner urge? So one time, I had caught my boyfriend cheating. And the way it happened was, he saw me earlier in the day, and I said that I wanted to go out. And he said no, he was going home that night, and he was just going to stay home, and then he would take me out another night. And I said fine, and I went and visited my mom. And at my mom's house, someone needed a ride to town. And I said, oh, I'll give you a ride to town. And I didn't know I was going to give this person a ride to town. I didn't have to be the one to give them a ride to town. But when they said they needed a ride to town, something inside me said, I'll go. That was an inner urge. Okay? And it wasn't out of people-pleasing that I was doing it, because I'd already broken my patterns on that. Let me just take a sip. And because I got the inner urge, I did that. And then when I did that, I drove by the local bar on the way to drop this person off. And there was my boyfriend's truck. And there he was, sitting at the bar. The bartender bent over with her boobs in his face. Him eating dinner. And him with every intention of going out that night without me. And I would have never known that if I had not followed that inner urge to give somebody a ride, which was completely out of my way, which I did not have to do. And Coronis, the mythology of Coronis is she did get caught in an infidelity. So I'm not trying to scare you, but I think that there's something trying to be shown to you, that you won't follow your inner urge if you're too kind of busy. Right? If you're too busy trying to avoid your inner urge, or too busy trying to figure things out, this is coming up pretty immediately. And when I say that, I can kind of feel a sinking feeling within you. So first of all, I want to say you are lovely, strong, lovable, completely. What anybody else does in your life, whether you have a commitment with them or not, does not dictate your value. You are worthy. You were born worthy. You are lovable. You were born lovable. It is your job at this point to love yourself, to be the caretaker for yourself, to know that you won't give up no matter what, and that you can survive everything that your soul has lined up for you to learn about in this lifetime. If you can detach a little bit and look at whatever it is that you're being led towards, seeing is a gift for you, is a lesson that you meant to learn, is something that will help transform you into being who you really are. If you've been surviving life by being very busy a lot, and this is saying, let's get you off that treadmill. This is saying, let's slow down and get in touch with who you are and what you really want. You know, perhaps you were either like treading water in a relationship where it wasn't really serving you anymore. Maybe it had expired, maybe not. Maybe it's something you can turn around once you see things for how they really are. There's a conversation meant to be had. This could be happening in a relationship with a sibling even. So it doesn't have to be like a unfaithful, spouse. It could be just a sibling needs space to come and talk to you. Whatever it is, you can reframe some really treacherous tower-like moments in your life if you look at it more like an adventure. Make room for it as an adventure, whatever it is presenting to you. There may be a pattern of ignoring this inner urge. You might want to withdraw from whatever it is you've been doing and the perception that you have had. Understand that whatever shifts are happening for you are making room in your life for you to be more fulfilled. There's going to be a higher way to look at this and solve this. There may be something where you don't feel like you're getting the recognition. And so it's asking you to recognize yourself. It's a past life karma. And whatever that means for you will become more clear as you make the space for yourself to see and feel. But recognizing your own worth and your own value and your own values, what's important to you, your own strengths and your own weaknesses, is a really important part of this. This is a difficult message to deliver, and I know it might be a difficult message to hear. But I want you to know that it's just information to reflect on. And if you don't feel there's a infidelity situation, like in Cronus's story, then don't take that as the message, okay? If you didn't already feel it. If it didn't go, that's true, when I said it, then don't worry yourself. Don't buy into that reality at all. This is just saying make some room so you can be really clear on things. So you can know what you want and know where the path is leading you. You understand where your boundaries are when someone is repeatedly trying to infiltrate them. So notice any patterns that exist like that. All right, anything else for Gemini? I don't love this message. I don't feel complete on it yet. What do we want to clarify? Let's clarify Coronis. Why is Coronis here? There's a situation that is not... It's a situation with somebody else that you're gaining some wisdom about. There may be some greed involved. And you don't have to keep living it out. Like, what is somebody's motives and things like that, right? Like in my story there, my boyfriend's motive was to go out and have a good time without me. And he, instead of breaking up with me and saying, I don't want to hang out with you, you know, go be free, he put me on a back burner and said, I'll hang out with you another time. We'll do it tomorrow. It's like, that was a little greedy, right? Wanting his cake and eating it too. And not sharing it with me. And beginning a relationship with someone else without ending a relationship with me first. So, there's some sort of toxic situation that is, you're being helped to clear it from your life. It may affect how you're seen in the world. It may involve short distance travel, and very interesting. Understand that this situation is helping you declutter something from your life that is holding you down, that is absolutely a pattern that you only came to live out so that you could learn to love yourself more, to value yourself more, to recognize yourself more, to give yourself the recognition and the credit. We've got pattern, and then I said clarify that, and it's free spirit. It's like anytime you're stuck in a pattern, use your free will to get out of it. Like, you're not limited, you're not bound by these patterns. Someone else is like living the same thing day in, day out. You don't have to. You can withdraw from this whole situation. And yes, Pluto can sometimes be a painful transition because it's a long-standing pattern, and that's why it's like surrender. And when I it's like a part of your ego that was keeping up with coping with the situation is dying in a way. So when this was happening for me a lot earlier on in my journey, I would be present with the emotion. I would love myself through it. I would welcome it in like it was my baby that I needed to love. You know, I would be the one to caretake my emotion very fully and very steadily, and not with shame or blame. It was just that there was part of me who was very sad. So a light is being shown on something that's not serving you any longer. That was something that your soul came to learn in this lifetime. Very interesting that I'm losing like my ability to talk clearly. Like my voice is getting all crackly. And communication is something that's here, you know. And so it might be a hard conversation to have, but it's an important conversation to have. So it's inviting you to change your view on it, right? It's like, what do you have to lose? It's like, this is something you literally came to live out from a past life where you didn't get it done. Get it done now. Get it done. You can get it done now. You have what it takes. You absolutely have what it takes. The only part of you that doesn't know it has what it takes is a wounded child part of you that needs your love, that needs to be shown that you can do it, that needs to be shown that it's lovable no matter what. Whether you've been abandoned earlier in life, whether somebody wasn't true to you, whether someone let you down earlier in life and that pattern is repeating here now, you've got to be the one who loves you through it. There's a rainbow here, meaning you will be brought to a higher view, a higher vantage point, having gone through this. So, what's at the end of a rainbow? A pot of gold. You're going to find all the gold from this situation on the other side, but don't skip to that. Start with being present. Start with understanding what's going on, what allowed you to be in this situation, and what potential exists for you is a good thing to know, but it doesn't have to be the first focus. It's not always going to stay in the painful place that it will be passing through. You only know what you're losing. You don't know what you have to gain. So help yourself with that beautiful mind you have to change your perception of what is happening. Remember, it's all happening for you. Remember, you are strong enough. Remember, everything you've been through up to this point in your life has prepared you for this transition. That this was always part of the plan. That you can trust yourself to know what to do. And that you can surrender what you cannot control. And that you will land softly on the other side of this. Only taking with you what you need. Only taking with you what is really important to you. Shedding any unhelpful coping mechanisms that would continue that would weigh you down if you continue to carry them. Okay, so again, this is just a person in your life that is maybe in a toxic way of relating, or you have a toxic dynamic with them. They may exhibit very greedily, and there's wisdom to be gained from this situation. Or there may be a wise advisor, someone that you wouldn't normally go to, someone that maybe it's not in your practice to actually go to somebody else for some wisdom. But somebody else knows about how to get out of this. If you do need someone else, someone that you know is wise, ask them, go to them, or if they advise you, consider the advice, There is somebody who's been through this that might have some helpful things for you to consider, or to just hug you through it, to just hold space for you, to just be someone who understands that this is a painful process. And that believes in you to get through it. So I'd like to also invite you to promise not to harm yourself or another through this process, which could bring up anger as one of the emotions to be present with. Because the process that you're going through is about self-love, is about honoring yourself. And honoring yourself involves not kind of letting out that pain that you pass through onto a situation in a way that is going to harm you or another person, because that's not going to result in anything good, and it would probably just waste your time when you've already probably done that in another lifetime, right? Maybe you came to this point, and instead of surrender, instead of loving yourself through, you actually took the low road and became self-destructive or destructive towards others, and really dug yourself into the issue. So this is the chance that you have to take the high road, to actually, come through this. Come through this knowing yourself better. Come through this lighter. Come through this with full recognition for your worth, your esteem, and how lovable you are. This is the situation with the toxic person may have already been past, right? You might have already got through that, and the rest to be done is just the working through it, right? And working through it in your case has to do with following the inner urge and being present with yourself and reframing the story a little bit and recognizing yourself and just coming out the other side knowing that you're on the high road. Okay, Gemini. Wow. So remember, this is just information to reflect on. Just take what you know is valuable for you to reflect on and leave the rest for someone else. That will complete your reading.